and welcome to day 4 of our yoga challenge. Today we're going to get started at the top of our mats and standing. I want everyone to bring their palms facing forward, rock back and forth on your feet, finding some balance in your stance. Make sure to keep a slight bend in your knees and close your eyes. Making sure to have your shoulders stacked over your hips and your hips stacked over your ankles. Come to stillness. We're going to take 3 big inhales in and we're going to sigh them out of our mouth, letting all of our worries and the day's issues just fade away. We're going to set them aside for right now. Inhale in. Sigh out your mouth. A big inhale in. Sigh out of your mouth. A big inhale in. Heavy sigh out of your mouth. On an inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Finding a slight back bend here if you'd like. On an exhale, swan dive forward. You could grab your ankles with backs of your shins. Just resting here for a moment in forward fold. On an inhale, come to halfway lift, bringing your hands to your shins. On an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead, finding a slight back bend at the top. Bring your hands through heart center. Inhale your hands overhead. Slight back bend here. Forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. And have you heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat. Grab opposite elbows if you like and just let your head hang heavy here. You can sway back and forth if you'd like, finding a little bit of movement in this pose. Come to stillness. Heel toe your feet back in to hip width distance apart. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands overhead, finding a slight back bend here. Come to standing with your hands over your head. Clasp your hands together with your index fingers still pointed up towards the ceiling, and arch over the right side of your body. Think about arching over a big ball, keeping your hips square towards the front of your mat and your legs standing up straight. You want to think about bending from your waist. Take a few breaths here. On an inhale, come to center, and on an exhale, fold over the left side of your body. Thinking about arching your side body over a big beach ball. Let's pretend we're at the beach today, guys. Take a few breaths here. On an inhale, come back to standing. Bring your hands to heart center. I want you to shift your weight to the left foot and begin to pick your right foot up off of the mat. You want to bring your thigh parallel to your mat. If you have it in your practice, you can take your 2-piece fingers and wrap it around your big toe and extend your foot out in front of you. If you don't have that in your practice, that's okay. Just put your hand around your knee. From wherever you are, take your right hand or your left hand and place it on your right knee or the right outside foot of your toe and twist to the right. Firing up our core, getting our legs warmed up. Be here for 2 more breaths. Come out of your twist, put your right foot back down on the ground. Feel free to wiggle out the left foot, the left leg if you need to. Shift your weight over into your right foot and bring your left leg up parallel to the mat. If it's in your practice, take your 2-piece fingers and grab your big toe and extend your leg out in front of you. If not, no worries. Put your left hand on your left knee. You're going to take your right hand, you're going to place it on your left knee, and you're going to twist to the side. If you fall out of this pose, like you'll see me do here in a second, just come right back into it. Yoga is a journey, it is not a destination. And the more we practice, the longer we will be able to hold these poses. Twist to the front of the mat and release your left foot to the ground. Sweep your hands overhead. Find a slight back bend at the top. Swan dive forward. Inhale for halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, plant both of your hands on the mat. Step or hop back to high plank. Find some movement here if you'd like, rocking back and forth. Firing up the core and getting a little bit of stretch in those calves. Making sure that your hips are tucked under and not popped up. Lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. And exhale for down dog. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. On our next inhale, we'll step or hop to the top of the mat. Come into halfway lift. Exhale for forward fold. And sweep your hands overhead. Find a slight back bend at the top. Bring your hands through heart center. And set up for mountain pose for another sun salutation. Inhale your hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to high plank. Come down through your chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale for down dog. We'll take 2 deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Finding a slight back bend at the top. And bring your hands through forward fold. Or heart center. We'll do one more sun salutation A at your own pace. All meeting in down dog when we are finished. Take 1 deep inhale here. And sigh out of your mouth. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale for forward lift or halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Finding a slight back bend. Bring your hands through heart center. going to drop into chair pose here. You are more than welcome to use a chair for this pose if you would like. You can use this stool to demonstrate. In chair pose, we're going to keep our feet about hip width distance apart. Bring your hands to heart center, and you want to sit back like you're sitting on a chair. So if this isn't very high, but if you have like a dining room chair or something like that, you want to kind of sit on the edge of it. You don't want to sit all the way down on it, putting most of your weight, just just a little bit of your weight there. Give you some extra support. Bring our hands to heart center, sitting back in our chair. You can leave your hands here if you'd like, or you can sweep your hands overhead. Making sure you don't want your butt sticking out like that. You want to tuck your tailbone under. You want to keep a long spine between your tailbone and your neck. Having your tailbone tuck under. I'll be here for a few breaths. On an inhale, bring your hands back down to heart center, still staying in your chair. We're going to take our left elbow and we're going to hook it around our right knee. If this is not accessible for you, that's all right. Just gently shift your chest over to the right side, kind of like we did in one of our classes earlier in cactus arms, but just keep your arms at your hands at heart center and twist towards the right. But if you have it in your practice, hook your left elbow around your right knee and shift your gaze either towards the ceiling or to the ceiling or to the side of your mat. Stay here for a few breaths. On a next inhale, we're going to come back up to center. We're going to come out of our chair pose just a little bit, not all the way, but just a little bit. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot. We're going to bring our right foot up off of the mat, and we're going to shoot it back behind us, coming in to warrior one. With warrior one, instead of having your foot, the side edge of your foot, the outside edge of your foot parallel to your mat like we are in warrior two, you want to bring your foot in just a little bit more so that it's kind of like perpendicular to the corner of your mat. You can really see how my foot is. It's pointing up towards the front more. And we'll bend it to our left knee, square our hips towards the front of our mat, and we sweep our hands overhead. We'll be here for a few breaths. Bring your hands back down to heart center and bring your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. You can stand up here, kind of wiggle your legs out a little bit. Do a little toe tapping. Come back in to your standing position with your feet hip width apart, and come back into your chair. Sitting back, having your tailbone tucked under. You can raise your arms or you can keep them at heart center. We'll be here for a few breaths. Bring your hands down to heart center. Shift your weight into your right foot and come out of your chair for a little bit. Actually, sorry guys, stay in chair. We're going to take our right elbow and we're going to hook it around our left knee. If this is not accessible for you, that's okay. Just shift your gaze and your chest to the left side. Find your twist. If you've hooked your knee to your elbow, you want to take your gaze to the side of the mat where you can take it up towards the ceiling. When we are twisting in this pose, you want to make sure that your right knee is not jutted out in front of you like this. You want to keep your knees in line, and you want to think of twisting from your waist. for one more breath. Come back through to center. Now you can come out of your chair just a little bit and shift your weight into your right foot, lifting your left foot off of the ground. Tilt forward and shoot your leg back, landing on the back of your mat, coming into warrior two. Sweeping your hands overhead. We'll be here for a few breaths. Bring your hands down to heart center and bring your left foot up to meet your right foot. Stand up tall, sweeping your hands overhead, finding a slight back bend here. Swan dive forward. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on your mat. Come into high plank, flow through your chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale for down dog. We're going to take our left foot, or our right foot, and sweep it up towards the sky for three-legged down dog. We're going to inhale, bringing our knee to nose. We're going to plant our hand in between our feet, or plant our feet in between our hands. If you'd like, you can stay here, or you can bring your back knee down to the mat. You're going to heel toe your right leg out to the side of your mat, bringing both of your hands on the inside of your leg for a lizard stretch. You can stay, there's a lot of variations for this pose. You can stay here if you'd like with your knee down. If your knee's down, you can stay up on your hands. You can come to your elbows. If your knee is lifted, you can do the same. You can stay on your hands or you can come down to your elbows. Whatever feels good in your body, do that. We'll stay here for a few breaths. If you'd like, you can take your right hand and gently place it on your right knee and roll your foot up onto the outside edge of your toe, of the side of your foot, and gently press out. Press your knee out. Remembering to do what feels good in your body. Roll your foot back onto the mat. Bring your hands down. Lift your leg if it was down and shoot your right foot to meet your left foot. Flow through chaturanga. Inhale for up dog. Exhale for down dog. Take a minute to even your heart rate out. Take a few breaths here. We can control so much of our nervous system through breathing. It's actually quite amazing. If you'd like, we can totally do that too. Just let me know. On an inhale, sweep your left foot to the ceiling, coming in three-legged down dog. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, plant your foot in between your hands. And what we do on one side, we always do on the other. So the variation of lizard that you took on your right side, take that on your left side. Heel toeing your foot out to the side of your mat and bringing your hands on the inside of your foot. If you'd like, you can roll your foot to the outside edge, taking your left hand and gently placing it on your left knee and pushing out just a little bit for a little bit of a deeper stretch in your hip. On your next inhale, roll your foot back down to your mat, plant your hands, lift up your back leg, shoot your left leg to meet your right leg, and flow through a chaturanga. Meeting in down dog. This is the last down dog of the day, so feel free to find any movement here that you need. Come through to seated. Shooting your feet out in front of you. We're going to take our right foot, plant our heel on the mat close, right next to our left thigh, and we can leave it here, and we can cross it over our left thigh, coming into Lord of the Fish. Take your left elbow, hook it around your right knee, or just take your left hand and grab your right knee. This pose has a lot of benefits to it, so you'll see it a lot in our classes. Come out of your twist by bringing your chest towards the front of the mat. Put your right leg out long. Bring your left foot in to sit next to your right thigh. You can stay here. You can cross it if you'd like. And whatever bind you took with your elbow or your hand, take it here. Twisting to your left. Come out of your bind, bringing your chest to the front of your mat. Shoot your legs out long. Inhale your hands overhead and forward fold. Grabbing the backs of your feet, your ankles, or your shins. We'll be here for 2 breaths. On an inhale, rise up. Bring your arms out parallel to the mat, and slowly lower back down to your mat. Coming into corpse pose with your palms facing up. Let your body just kind of relax here. Close your eyes. On an inhale, roll in onto the right side of your body with your knees up towards your chest. Push yourself up into seated. Bringing your hands to your knees and closing your eyes. I want everyone to take one final inhale here and a deep, heavy sigh out of your mouth. Bring your hands to heart center and bow your head. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.